if I were to consider getting a car, if I had the funds, I would not get a car, especially living here.
I did own a car, and then I sold it when I moved to New York.
In this city, no. It's not worth it. It's like too much of a hassle. Like parking is ridiculous. Gas is just ridiculous.
Young people are living in urban centers more frequently than any generation before them. Their numbers are higher in terms of living in a city like New York. But even outside of these densely populated areas where public transportation still isn't robust, there are still better or more meaningful alternatives. So you've got bike rentals, you've got car sharing programs.
We are buying fewer cars than previous generations. What I think is misunderstood is the age at which we're buying the cars. And so people keep comparing us to where they were and how many cars they bought at 22 or 17 or 16 or even 24. And the reality is those big car buying moments, when we get that first job, when we graduate from somewhere, when we get married or have a kid, those have all shifted back dramatically. We're going to buy lots of cars, we're just not buying them right now.
You know, we don't have a clear-cut answer, and I actually think that there probably isn't a universal answer, but you know, this idea that modern technology allows us to transcend time and space so that we can feel like we're with our friends and our family, even if we are physically apart. I also think that the car as the quintessential status symbol, you know, it used to be that when you turned 16 in the 70s, 80s, the car was the gateway purchase into adulthood, and now young people would say the cell phone is the gateway purchase to adulthood.
So it may not be the status symbol that it once was, but it's highly functional. I think what the car industry as a whole is trying to figure out is, how do we reach this group? And then what do they actually want? What the really smart automakers are doing, like Fiesta, Ford, Fiesta, and some of these others, is they're saying, how simple can we make it so it just works? And that's what actually connects the millennials and how we use social media and communicate in general.
I'm not going to buy a car, probably ever. I mean, I've lived in different places other than New York. I've lived in Tennessee and Pennsylvania, and I know out there the culture's a lot different. There are kids younger than me who own cars. And they like the idea of driving, and I don't know, it's more of just a traditional thing, I guess, out there.
But I definitely think that there's social media influence in the sense where social media is constantly promoting like Zipcar and things like that. So they're not really promoting car ownership. But also, I mean, with the economy the way it is, not a lot of people can really afford to buy a car.
I feel like a lot of people don't really go out of their way as much as they used to hang out because of the internet. Like, they could just sit there and just talk to everyone at the same time.
I think it's too much of a hassle. I'd rather take the train. It's quicker. It's way cheaper. Eventually, if I was to live in like areas where it's like it's more like accessible, like just drive around, because like in certain areas like Connecticut, like you can't really go anywhere without a car.
There's certain groups that now millennials are maybe not going to buy a car. They're going to share, they're going to borrow, they're going to use cars in a different way. They're still going to use cars to take trips and all that kind of jazz. But the bigger market opportunity is absolutely there. It's just been delayed. Skinny jeans are not.